Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. I'm RoyalMixGaming and today we're going to be talking about Ramses. And we're going to be talking about what are the best talents for him, the best skill order that you can do until he is expertised. We're going to talk about his gear, and then we're going to talk about his best pairs. So for his skills, his first primary skill is deals additional damage per second, damage factor 800 when you have it maxed to 5, and applies a defense reduction of up to 25% to the target over the next 2 seconds. So when you're doing this, you obviously want to max the first skill. Then his second skill is while on the map, archer units gain up to a 40% attack bonus. Third skill is a 30% skill damage reduction, another 40% attack bonus when they are attacked. They also have a 10% chance to gain your up to 40% attack and 40% archer march speed. Fourth skill is going to have a 10% chance to heal you for a factor of 500 and grant you a 40% defense increase for 3 seconds. His expertise is going to cause the target to have a heal immune effect for 2 seconds, which basically is going to keep the target from healing for 2 turns. And then it's also going to improve upon your direct damage factor over time of 800 to doing 1,000. So it would be a factor of 2,000 over the whole time period of 2 seconds. So if you're going to be investing in Ramses, and I plan to invest in Ramses on my restart account that's in 2303, because I have YSG, and I don't really want to go into infantry, so I want to invest in Ramses, and we are going to be getting them pretty soon. So first things first, you want to max the first skill to 5, so you get your 800 damage factor over 2 seconds. You get that great defense reduction for archers of 25%. The best case scenario is just doing him 5-5-5-1. And then as you get the last skill maxed, you get more defense when you get attacked, and you get a slight chance to heal for 10% chance. Then once you expertise him, you're going to have all the extra benefits of the expertise skill, as I was saying. So 5-5-5-1, and then expertise him would probably be my recommendation to you, because you're going to get all the march speed, attack, and skill damage reduction that you can get. And I don't think that's anything else that really matters. But the last skill is good, but it's hard to do if you don't have the sculptures. So what we're doing for talents here, we're going to go ahead and swap to a different commander that I have at 60 for archers, so that you can just see a talent tree for archers that it's fully done. So when you're doing his talent tree, you're going to want to do the full archer tree up the top here. So you're going to want to make sure that you're doing all of the razor sharp to 3, full quiver to 3, maxing out the top skill here of whistling arrows to 5. And then we're going to go ahead and go back to him real quick here. And we're going to do the other side. You would just do this here. Armor joints. Go to the death. And then you would do all your points here for all damage on effortless. And then you would do the full archer tree at the top. Like I was saying, you would do all points in this archer tree. Max it all the way out. And you would be good to go. For rallying, so that would be for open field, like I was saying. And if you're going to be rallying, it's basically the same talent tree. I don't foresee there's really any talents that you would want to get in the attack tree that's going to make much of a difference. The only other thing you can maybe try and drop is drop points into the death, and maybe put them in counterattack damage dealt for rally, because taking more damage and you deal more damage, sometimes it's not as good. But in general, that skill is probably you're doing more damage over time than you are actually taking, because you're getting 6% and 3%. So that would be the talent tree I would recommend, is trying to get this. And then if you feel like you don't like to the death, you can always swap it for unyielding, and that would be good to go. But the full archer tree, you can't go wrong. Do the full archer tree totally all the way, max it out. All the talents on that tree is really, really good, and it's going to help you out a lot. Equipment for Ramses is going to be the same that I recommend for all archers. Is going to be a full epic set, and what you're going to want to do is slowly add in purples. If you're doing Ramses from your first season of Conquest, you can always add in the blue weapon that gives you the defense for archers and things like that, but you're going to want to work towards a full epic set, and then slowly work on special talents as you go up in the tiers. If you don't know exactly which equipment otherwise to do, you can always watch my Archer equipment guide. I'll link it in the description, and it kind of walks you through each stage of the Archer equipment. So once you have a full epic set, you're pretty much done if you are not rallying or if you're not going to be doing anything else with Ramses. If you're wanting to improve upon that, obviously a full Archer set is a good way to go, but that's for mega whales. You can also mix and match, like I was saying in my equipment guide, that I'll link in the description that you can go watch, and you can get some more guidance on Archer equipment. Now, pairs for Ramses, there are a multitude of pairs for Ramses, but some of the top tier pairs for Ramses, in general, I would say the most universal pair for Ramses is YSG. You're going to have YSG expertise first as your first commander in the game, and then once you reach Season of Conquest, if you really feel you want an Archer commander, you can either do Ramses or Nebu, depending on your preference, depending on how many sculptures you can get of each, because Ramses comes from the Wheel of Fortune, Nebuchadnezzar comes from MGE. Depending on what kingdom you're in, it kind of depends on your choice if you're really going in for an Archer commander. So if you can't get anything in MGE, just do Ramses, and he's really, really good. Like I was saying, that's going to be my situation. I won't be able to get him in MGE, so I'm going to be doing Ramses. And I also just want to try Ramses out. I've never had Ramses before, and it's a good opportunity for me to try him out and see how good he really is, because I've heard he's really good, and I've seen him on the field, and he does really well. So first pair would be Ramses primary with YSG secondary. Other pairs that you can do are either Ramses primary with Nebuchadnezzar secondary. That is going to be a little bit less AoE in general, because YSG has a circle AoE and Nebu has a frontal AoE. But if you can't get Nebuchadnezzar, don't worry about it. Like I was saying, the most universal is going to be YSG. Another pair that you can do is Ramses with, let me scroll here, Cyrus the Great. You probably could do Cyrus primary, but if you want to be targeted less, you could put Ramses primary, and both of them together do a lot of extra damage to the single target, because he does a lot of single target to targets as well. Cyrus the Great generates a lot of rage, does a lot of damage. It's a really good single target pair if you're looking to upgrade from your YSG combo. The next pair that you can always do is Gilga with Ramses. Probably Ramses primary, but you can always run Gilga primary if you want. Sometimes running Gilga primary might be better because you have the skill talent tree, and you can basically do all the way over here to rejuvenate, clarity. If you really feel like you need a lot of rage, do Feral Nature, and then try and get as high into Whistling Arrows as you can. You may not be able to, so you may have to go to Razor Sharp if you're wanting to do Gilga. With Ramses, if you use Gilga primary, but you can always use Ramses primary if you can't get Gilga 260. And then other pairs than that, I think that's all the pairs that I would recommend for Ramses. Anyone else that you can pair with him really isn't going to help too much with you, because the one he came out with was Artemisia, but the problem is Artemisia silences herself, and the pair in general is a very good combo. It's very tanky because Artemisia has 40% of defensive and health stats, so that combo is really good. Also, if you wanted to try to run that, I would caution you to not run that, because he has better pairs like YSG, Nebuchadnezzar, and Gilga, or even Cyrus, that do a lot more damage than Artemisia can do, and Artemisia really needs a Monitor to get rid of her silence. Like I was saying in my previous video for Artemisia, she really needs a Monitor to help her out. So in this video, I showed you guys what are the best talents, what are the best skill orders, 5551, then Expertise Ramses. I showed you what equipment he can possibly have. Full epic set is really, really good. And then we just went over the best pairs for Ramses. Like I was saying, Ramses and YSG is the most universal. Depending on your preference after that, you can mix and match with Nebuchadnezzar, Gilga, Cyrus, and even Artemisia. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned some more about Ramses, figured out what you're wanting to do, and you can always watch my Nebuchadnezzar guide if you want to see what Nebuchadnezzar can do for you if you are able to obtain him. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.